So I got tons of interest in my most recent video about putting or LA heads on a Magnum block when you're dealing with small block Mopars. It's a big deal. It really increases your availability of blocks, and it just kind of brings together the two families of engines. You get sort of the best of both worlds when it comes to that. But anyway, if you're interested in the rocker arms and the oiling up there, I'm going to do my best to explain it a whole heck of a lot better than I did in that initial video. So, sounds like fun. Stick around. Now, this here is actually a comp roller rocker. This is not exactly the unit that I used. Maybe I should have because I did have a set, but I didn't. And I'm just going to explain to you my reasoning why I think this is going to work really well. Now, to start with, I got my oil coming out of my push rods. So instead of this hole here, just applying oil lubrication to this where it touches the push rod, it's actually going to inject oil backwards through the same passage into here. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but in there, there's just a little recessed ring right around the middle that is just a little bit bigger than these surfaces on the outside that actually ride on the rocker shaft. So that ring is going to allow oil to come around, and it's actually going to shoot through this hole right here, and that is what's going to splash oil the roller for me. So what I did is normally there's in the rocker shaft, there's a hole that feeds oil into this ring. So instead of allowing that hole that used to feed oil to this ring to bleed oil off, I actually plugged that hole in the rocker shaft. So the oil coming out of this push rod, all it's got to do is lubricate this end, keep this tiny little wee ring in here full so that oil will come out of here and splash oil that this roller. So I'm cautiously optimistic that that's going to work. I don't envision any issues with it. When I first put it together and I just ran it with the drill on the oil pump, there was freaking oil everywhere. It was unbelievable. But what I did notice is the majority of the oil, like there was lots of oil to lube these, but the majority of the oil was just gushing out into the heads. When I plugged those holes, the original feed holes in the rocker shafts, I had oil just where I needed it. I had oil here, I had oil here, and it was dripping out of there really nicely and really well when the crank was in the right position, when the lifters were in the right position to feed oil here. So I really truly believe that's going to be a better system. I'm going to end up with less oil stuck up in the top end of the engine just to flow back for no other reason than to flow back. So I truly do believe it's going to work really well. Now, I guess one other thing I failed to mention, this surface that rides on the rocker shaft, it also gets a nice amount of oil from the oil being passed through that ring. So there's no real fear of these surfaces galling up on that rocker shaft, because there will be plenty of oil present in and around here. Every time I get oil from the push rod, I'll get oil throughout this whole entire system, and I'm confident that these should stay very well lubricated in that top end. So that's it. I hope that helps explain what I've been attempting to do here. I I looked into this. I did a bunch of research online. There wasn't a whole lot, but there's a couple fellers that said they did it, and just there was, maybe I'm the only dummy that thinks that this is such a profound great idea. But anyway, I am gonna run this motor as soon as I can make arrangements to get the run stand down here. And I'm gonna figure some stuff out, maybe cut the top out of some valve covers so that we can really see what's going on and see how much oil's getting up there. But you will see this running in action if you're interested in just keeping an eye on what's going on the channel. But anyway, I hope that explanation helps. I know my camera work was not the best, but my little three-legged assistant, he doesn't necessarily follow where my hands go, and I talk like a freaking fool when I explain more things with my hands than I do with my lips, so it makes it a little more difficult. But really do appreciate all the views to my most recent video. If you haven't seen it, I really enjoyed making it. I'm really interested in the project, and you might get something out of it too. So check it out. Thanks for watching.